enjoying the food and wine and this beautiful artwork that we have for you. We're very blessed to have Astrid and Margaret work together and from a long way apart to create an exhibition that works so well together. Once we hung all the paintings and got to unpack the glass, it was very easy to go and find a spot for the glass with the right painting. So I'm amazed, and hopefully both of them will speak about their intent with this, but it's quite uncanny that we see references in each that work well together. So I'm going to hand over to Astrid, who's going to talk about her beautiful paintings. Welcome, Astrid.
Thank you. Yes, I was quite amazed that Margaret's work worked so well with my work too, and we'd never met before. I hadn't seen her work before. She hadn't seen my work, and she'd already done her work, so it was quite amazing that it just connected. Anyway, welcome everybody. I've had to write a few notes because I'm not very good at this. I think that anyone that's here, art must play a big part in your lives, much more probably than footy. So I'm so glad you're here, and I hope that you enjoy what you see. You may know that I have a studio in Bali, and I'm working there at the moment. So it's don't worry, I haven't sort of grown my hair long and thrown out my bra. I still wear a bra and I still colour my hair red. So, no change there. I'm known as a semi-abstract painter of landscapes, and saying that, I also use a lot of texture, and the texture evolved over several years, and I started experimenting with texture when I was in my 20s. I was married to an out-of-work actor at the time, and had a slung child on my hip and very little money. So what to do? How am I going to find money to experiment with? So I just bought a bit of PVA and started mixing things with it and putting it on surfaces. And then I went into my kitchen and I found tea leaves and coffee grounds, and I sprinkled it on top, and voila, tea and coffee paintings. So anyway, these days, of course, there's a lot of preparations for artists. They're a bit spoiled, really. I mean, they don't have to ad-lib like we used to have to do. At the moment, I'm on my Asian journey. I've spent 6 years in Singapore working as an artist and an art educator, doing corporate art and also running workshops, and I often go there and do workshops as well as doing workshops in Australia, and I also exhibit there. I've got an exhibition at the moment in the Dutch Club in Singapore, and also 2 years in Bali. My studio in Bali is just fantastic. Got the moon rising every night, and on my patio painting, this is what this painting is all about. It's a culmination of the moon glow on the patio and the reflections on the pool, and making that bridge between Balinese culture and my Australian background and heritage. My long and checkered journey started in Manjima when I first got the measles. I was in bed. My mum was sick and tired of me saying, "Mum, what am I going to do? I'm bored." So she gave me a pencil, some paper, and a book that she had. She's part Thai, so she had lots of books on Thailand and Thai things. So she gave me this book on gods and goddesses, and so I started sketching them and copying them, and wow, this is fantastic, I can actually draw a bit. And so then I, at the same time, of course, I won a prize in the Manjimup school for the best landscape painting. So I thought, this is it, I'm going to be an artist, Mum. Well, she was shocked. No way. She said, no, you're not going to be an artist. Artists don't make any money. And you're going to be a typist or a bookkeeper or a secretary like me. So when I flunked out on bookkeeping, I couldn't type very fast. And of course they had shorthand and I had very slow shorthand. And so my typing speed wasn't good either. So she went, so maybe, I don't know, you choose. So I went to RMIT and, studied. So anyway, hundreds of paintings later, canvases, so many canvases on so many different things, including my travels, living in 6 or 7 different countries, experiencing life and cultures in them as well. Here am I, standing before you now, talking about my work, that whole journey. I hope you can see and sense the layers of experiences and different cultural influences in my work, like the layers of sediment in the sea of time. Thank you.
Thank you, Astrid. I was just wondering, is it right if I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
I absolutely love this painting, but I wonder how you would begin a painting like that and how it progresses, and does it, is it an idea first?
Yes, actually it is an idea first, but a very raw idea. Like I say to myself, I'm going to do a painting underwater. And how it all came out was a couple of my friends started deep sea diving and they were telling me, oh, you must try Astrid, it's so fantastic. Are you crazy? Anyone can get killed, I mean, we're reading all about those people who died, all these tourists underwater and all that. I know it's a great pastime for people who do it, but I thought, no, there's too many things that can happen to you above ground. Why should I go in the sea? So then, as they were telling me about all the colours and showing me all these pictures, and one of my friends were putting all these pictures on Facebook, I started to get really interested in the colours. So I started this painting and just imagined myself underwater. And that was a sort of combination of the pictures my friends sent me, my imagination, and what the technique was telling me to do as well.
Good. Beautiful.
Okay, so any other questions anyone would like to ask me? Yes?
Can you tell us a little bit about your technique?
Well, the techniques vary so much.
Or that one?
This one? Well, this one first of all, there's texture. I use a lot of texture. The tree-like shape there is done with a liner, and some of that colours and those shapes behind are done with oil paint floating on top of water paint.
Oh.
Did you say you were in Manjimup?
Yeah, Manjimup.
Good pub to bed.
Yeah, is there? Well, I didn't know that. We had times, I remember, when they used to have pictures for 4 hours. We used to go in there. Mum and Dad used to get us sandwiches and snacks, and we'd sit in the front row. All the kids sat in the front row, all the adults sat in the back, and then on came the pictures, and we were munching away on our sandwiches watching the pictures. 4 hours.
No.
Yeah.
How long would it take you to do one of that example that one?
Well, every painting is different.
Sure.
Yes. That one took probably about a couple of months. Some of them take 2 or 3 weeks.
Would you work on different paintings
Yes,
simultaneously?
Because they have to dry.
Sure.
Then some paintings I've even finished after 5 or 6 years
Wow.
because, you know, it just hasn't quite worked, and I was wondering whether to throw it out or, you know, so I just put it face in the wall, don't look at it, and then after, you know, a few months I'll take it out. Oh, I know what to do now. You know, it just comes on.
So you have a few going at the same
Yes, yes, about probably, I'm going about 4 or 5 at the same time.
With that one there, would you do the watercolour first and then add the texture later, at a later stage?
No, I add the texture first, and then I swish around with acrylics and acrylic ink, and then the oil goes on last.
Does your, do you feel that your Scandinavian ancestry has a bit to this one over here?
Yes,
Is some sort of Scandinavian?
yes, yes, I know.
Are you from Sweden, Norway?
Norway, yes.
Not again.
Yes, actually, I went to Norway and I hiked in the Valdres mountains, and I saw lots of running water and streams. In fact, I even drank from some of the streams in the Valdres, and we went up the King's Road in between Sweden and Norway, where they in the olden days they had troops coming down, and the king used to go and look at his troops and tell them, yes, you're doing a great job, everyone, just keep there. So,
I can see that this painting of it.
yes, yes, that's right.
Yeah. My parents are Norwegian.
Are they? Ah. Okay, yes, I had a great time in Norway. Stayed with some Norwegian people. And I met this girl in Greece, Lisa-Lotte Hansen, and she said to me, "You're with a name like ASTRID DAHL, why aren't you coming to Norway?" Because it wasn't on my agenda, you know, so she made me come to Norway to see her and stay with her, and I met her parents and, you know, went hiking in the snow-clad mountains, and it was great fun.
You say you studied art at RMIT?
Yes.
Do you think, how much influence do you think your studies had on, I guess, your art now? Do you think if you did not study, it would be a lot different?
Yes, probably more primitive. Like a lot of people who haven't studied, I think the road is longer, whereas I studied illustration because my mother wouldn't let me study fine arts because she said you don't earn money being a painter. So I had to study illustration where I could get a job in an advertising agency, or, you know, make money doing something, illustrating books or something. So actually I spent then the next 20 years trying to unlearn what I learned to be an illustrator, loosen up, you know, try and be more spontaneous. So that was my primary goal. That's why I have all these techniques where it encourages spontaneity. Okay, anyone else? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Esther.
Thank you.
That was fascinating.